Hey Pisces, welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, check all of your major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and typically Venus, although I personally have never connected with my Venus reading. And let's see here. I'm starting with the Botanical inspirations, which are based on Victorian ideas and ideals about what different flowers meant. And then we're going to move into a regular tarot reading. So we're just going to check in and see what kind of energies are here. Iris, Pisces just got, or Aquarius just got Iris. Rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. So it's currently raining here for the first time in like 2 months. So rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Love that. And then we have nasturtium, one of my favorite, probably my favorite edible flower. Victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Lao Tzu. This is so true. And Thich Nhat Hanh has a really great book about power and about the source of power really being meditation and really being in touch with who you are. But of course, Thich Nhat Hanh would find the source of power. Anything else is Machiavellian and destructive uses of power, but inner power is really the only power. So victory and conquest, I like that. And rainbows and messages. Beautiful. Okay. All right, Pisces, moving into our regular reading with the Golden Tarot. These are collages of medieval and Renaissance art. They tend to be, the readings tend to be a little bit intense. And there's something else I want to say about them, but I can't remember what. Oh, religious imagery. Be prepared for lots of religious imagery. All right, Pisces, this is your past. Whoopsie. This is your oh my God, no. Uh-oh. This is your past, this is your present, this is your inner landscape, this is what's at issue, this is your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Something happened with this deck, although I'm very fastidious about keeping all the things upright, because I just like to have the one thing reversed. We have some reversals and we have to go with them because there are no mistakes in tarot. So, So in your recent past, you have this reversed Ten of Wands. So I'm going to take the Ten of Wands in the upright is about the ending of a painful, difficult situation. The ending of putting down. It's when you put down other people's burdens, other people's expectations, other people's definitions of who you are and what you need to be doing, and all sorts of these things that we take on from our society, from our loved ones, from our parents, from our teachers, and we kind of end up with this giant. Another deck has a backpack, which I like because it means you're not necessarily seeing it. But you're carrying it without seeing it. So normally in the upright, we're coming to this wall. We're coming to the place where the burdens get put down. It's time for you to take off one of those layers, take off one of those burdens, and put it down because you're done with the journey. This is sort of you not doing that. This is the reverse is you not putting down the burden, not forgetting what other people do, not shedding all the shoulding that's been going on you, and accepting the labels, taking them on, trying to fulfill. Sometimes labels, one of my favorite parenting books, Faber and Maslish, it's very old, but it's very good. It's Faber and Maslish, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. So they talk a lot about labeling is disabling, because a lot of times when we label something, then it ends up being prescriptive instead of descriptive. So if we're like, I am this, you are this, then like sometimes people will say like, well, I'm gay. Okay, well that's a nice description that overall involves who you are and what you're doing. That doesn't mean you can't ever be attracted. That doesn't mean that if you're attracted to someone of the opposite sex, you're like, no, I can't do that because I've already put the label on. So that's a little bit about what we're talking about. You've labeled yourself, or you've accepted a label to yourself and you're adhering to it, even though it's not yours. And we don't need the label. I mean, you know, like people will be like, I'm vegetarian. And then one day they'll eat some meat and everyone will be like, but you said you were vegetarian. Well, it's their diet and vegetarian best describes what they're doing. So why are we mad at them? It's their body, it's their diet. Vegetarian best describes their attempt. Should it be a prison? None of these labels. So the label ends up being a prison. Like, it shouldn't be a prison. It should just be the best description. I think that one's better than the other one. That analogy is better than the first one. But, you know, it should just be a description of your best, right? But it looks like it's a prison, and it looks like you're not quite ready to let go of it. You're like, no, I'm going to do this. And I've accepted these labels. I've accepted these expectations, and I'm not putting them down. So in the recent past, there was something a burden you were meant to put down, and you just decided not to. Could be comfortable. Could be that your arms are a little bit frozen and you can't put the burden down. Could be that this has created a comfort zone situation for you where you're like, hey, this is fine. This is fine. It's fine. I don't want to rock the boat. It's fine. Well, I'll just keep going like this. What's in your current situation, you have the moon here. You have dark forces at work, and those aren't scary. Those are just unseen, and the unseen ones we tend to label as scary. So there are unseen forces at work. There are things you don't know. There are things you can't see. There are subconscious issues that you might be dealing with here that maybe are coming out to the surface. There's all sorts of animals here, this rabbit, this deer. There's some sort of wild, instinctual part of you. I want to say this intuition, this intuitive part of you. It's unseen, but it's playing a role here. There's some sort of subconscious issue playing a role. A lot that's unseen. And this could be why you didn't put this burden down, is you didn't understand all the subconscious issues that kept you holding on to this, these labels, holding on to these expectations, holding on to these rules you never really agreed to. A lot of the Ten of Wands is stuff you didn't consciously agree to. You may have subconsciously taken something on, but you didn't consciously agree to it. It wasn't like there was some sort of open discussion. It was just like, here, carry this. Okay. Here, carry this. Okay. Can you carry this too? Okay. Okay. And then at some point you're supposed to be like, I run out of arms. I can't carry all this. And you didn't come to that point, even though you went way past that point. So why you're still carrying things that aren't yours to carry, and you haven't dropped burdens that you need to drop, those are some subconscious issues that you need to get into. And then your hopes, your fears, Wheel of Fortune. There's stuff out of your control and you know it. And you're hoping for it to turn in your favor, and you're afraid it's going to turn not in your favor. So there's some sort of, it's like the price is right, and you've rolled down that wheel, that big wheel, and that big wheel is turning, and you're sitting there going like, oh my gosh, this could make me or break me. I don't know. So you're both excited and hopeful, and also afraid that something's going to come in here and kind of change your luck and kind of change things up. Maybe maybe you can't find the strength to let go of this. Maybe you can't do that. But maybe you can't do that, but maybe you're hoping some sort of outside force is going to come in and like chop your arms off, or steal this wands, or make it so that you have to drop these wands. You might be hoping for some instead of you taking, maybe you're not able to. You might have some subconscious issues that have made you unable to even see that you're carrying this burden, unable to understand when it's time to put it down, unable to do that, and you're hoping that something's going to happen. Something's going to happen to change the situation, so that you can wake up, so that you can put the burden down, something like that. You're hoping for some sort of change to the situation. You're hoping that your luck will change. You're hoping for good luck. Maybe you bought a lottery ticket and you're hoping for some good luck here. So that's what's on your inner landscape. You're really thinking about luck, fortune. And then what's at issue here is this King of Swords. King of Swords in the upright is very traditional, very powerful. This is like your traditional boss, your traditional situation. Very intellectual, very smart, very clear, but we're taking it in the reverse. So there could be something at conflict here that's a little too untraditional or a little too difficult. There could be a lack of clarity going on, a lack of clear thinking and clear communication. And if something's very untraditional, the more clearer the communication needs to be, the more clearer the thinking around it needs to be, and the motivations around it need to be. But there's overall just a lack of clarity, a lack of communication, so here we are, we're having, I haven't shown this to you guys. So he's in the reverse. So, so with this moon card here, I'm just getting a lack of clarity, maybe not even being clear on what you want and hoping something's going to happen in your environment that's going to like make the decision for you, because you're lacking some clarity, or there's a lack of communication. In the upright, King of Swords is very traditional, a traditional power structure here. But we don't have a traditional power structure here going on, and there is a lack of clarity, and a lack of understanding, and a lack of communication, and maybe a lack of looking out for the greater good. Because King of Swords, for however traditional he is, and for holding his sword, he's really looking out for the greater good of his whole kingdom. The swords are more externally focused. So there could be like some sort of confusion on the external, because he's clarity. So there would be confusion, confusing communication, confusing desires, confusing, like the vegetarian that suddenly eats some meat. It's confusing for everybody else. The thing is, they're just not going to let a label control them, and vegetarian best describes their diet habits, but it can't be a prison. You don't have to imprison yourselves with your labels. It's just a way to describe ourselves and generalize. So, but there could be some confusion, both in thought and a lack of concern for the greater good. Maybe some more focus on somebody's more focused on what they want out of the situation, and they might not even know what they want. That's what I'm getting, is there's just a lot of confusion, a lot of not seeing something and not being clear on something, and lack of communication here. And then in your environment, you have Two of Cups. So somewhere around you, this could be two people around you, or this could be some sort of situation that you're in. You're really deep emotional sharing with somebody is going on in the environment, which is fascinating here, because we have this lack of clarity and this confused communication, yet somehow somebody here has some really beautiful sharing, kindred spirits, possibly soulmates, but more kindred spirits, because soulmates don't come in every week. So we have kindred spirits here, and some really good sharing. And this could just be a moment. Sometimes people just share a moment, and it's very powerful and very wonderful and beautiful and resonates, for a lifetime. But it could just be a moment, and not necessarily like a long-term relationship. But there's someone around you, and maybe someone else you see is having like some really deep sharing, some really lovely emotional connection. But what could be keeping you from that is something in your subconscious that's creating a lack of clarity and a lack of understanding here. Or there could be like emotional sharing, but not a lot of clarity on what happens, on how that moves forward, on what, or if it does, or anything like that. Like there could just be some sort of emotional connection was made, but not a lot of clarity. But that's the only clear thing, was that the emotional connection was made. Everything else is sort of like, there's waiting for something to happen, hoping something will happen externally, so you can experience that, or Okay, here's your to-do list. I've seen this card in the to-do list before, and I just do not get it. It's pretty funny. This 5 of Cups here. 5 of Coins, actually. Poverty. Poverty, being left out, being close to something that's very rich, but not going for it. I think this is a waiting in poverty. You don't have what you need yet. And I think you just need to stay there and understand that you don't have what you need yet. That there's something missing, there's something lacking. And I think that there's a surrender to that, like, of just like, I don't know, of allowing yourself to not get what you want. Allowing yourself, it's just such a fascinating to-do list, is this 5 of coins, like, allowing something to not manifest, not needing it to manifest. I think you might be onto something here with this Wheel of Fortune, of waiting for something outside of your control to happen and accepting your situations until that does happen. Because there's a lot you can't see here. There's a lot you don't know what to do with. So this 5 of coins is sort of like allowing something to not manifest in reality, allowing yourself to feel left out, allowing yourself to be left out. And this is, you take some control in this, though. This is your to-do list. And your to-do list is to not enter the sanctuary. Your to-do list is to not reach for what you want. Your to-do list is to accept your situation and accept that you don't have what it takes, or that you don't have what you need, or that you don't have... There is a sense of surrender to a higher power here, and a sense of accepting the situation for what it is, and not reaching, not demanding more, not asking for more, but being in sort of this place of lack and allowing that. You know you don't have all the information. And with this coming in and this moon looking like a coin to me, it seems like you don't have all the information to make something happen. You don't have what you need to make something happen. So, and you know that you don't have that. So I kind of see this as sitting tight and accepting that the situation isn't ideal, accepting that you don't have what you need, you don't have all the information that you need, and just allowing yourself to be here in sort of this winter of your discontent. In other decks, this is actually winter. So this is sort of a winter vibe, allowing this to be dark, allowing this to be confusing, going into this darkness. I almost see it as surrender, as a supplicant, not taking power, you're definitely not taking power, you're not taking action, you're almost just entering a place of stillness. You're entering a place of stillness, fully acknowledging that you do not have everything that you need right now. And entering the winter and being okay with it, being okay with not having something. And knowing that it's just not time yet. Because you're thinking a lot about this Wheel of Fortune, something changing. And I think that that's because you know that the situation lacks something. And you need to allow it. When it's dark, look for stars. And I see that you entering this darkness willingly, this place where you don't have something willingly in your life, like either accepting that you don't have a job, or accepting that you don't have the relationships that you want, or accepting that you don't have money right now, and allowing that to be the truth, and allowing this lack to be the truth, being in the dark and looking for these stars, understanding that it's not always, he can see these coins, but they're far away in their distance. These are showing up like stars to me. He can see this, but right now he's in the dark and he knows it. You know, you're underneath this moon here. You're in the dark and you know it. And so I think this is a card of surrender here, and surrendering to the situation and allowing yourself to lack what you want, to not moving forward with any kind of manifestation or any kind of anything. All right. So, and then where you're going, a possible outcome, this came out in reverse. So, King of Coins here. This is poverty also. So maybe you need to be a little stingy because there could be something coming in here that's going to be a little bit difficult financially. So, but the King of Coins in the upright, let's talk about him in the upright first. So this is a possible outcome that we're looking at. Money, hard work, slow moving, bonds, not stocks. He's doing his work. He's moving forward. Time is on his side. And as time goes, the richer he gets as time goes. So in the reverse, we're talking about possibly some irresponsibility with money. We're talking about maybe loss of money or loss of work. And maybe this is you getting into a penny pinching, stingy mode, because you could be facing a loss of work or a loss of money. This could also be just things stopping, coming to a grinding halt with work or money or something in the real world, just something. The King of Coins is moving. He's moving slowly, though. He could become completely stopped and completely, or there could be some irresponsibility with money coming forward, coming up. See, the reverse has, like, to me, the upright is king. So that's our money, that's collective money, that's collective rewards, that's collective work, that's paying attention to the whole kingdom, what's good for everybody, that's slow moving, real world progress and success, victory and conquest. And it's very sure-footed all the way. But we take it in the reverse. We can either get like stinginess. This is someone in a right relationship with money. This is stinginess. This is penny pinching. This is like the really awful kind where everything's calculated down to the half cent, and then, you know, the bean counting kind of stuff, or this could be irresponsibility with money, irresponsibility with a job, but there could be some sort of issue with money coming forward. This could be also a person that creates an issue with money or an issue with the work or some sort of real world issue for you, being selfish and that kind of thing. So the reversals for me, they have so many possible ways that our King of Coins can go wrong and can be turned on his head, right? Either unfairness with money, irresponsibility with money, total stoppage with money. There's just a lot of ways so that this King of Coins could go wrong. So you could be coming into this place of stinginess, not spending your money, accepting where you're at, and going into this darkness for a reason, because this King of Coins gets reversed in your possible future. So I think that, you know, it could be a warning of some difficulties coming in real life, and you needing to sort of not throw money around, be a little stingy or something, or allow yourself to go into sort of a winter preservation mode, because something could be coming forward that's not going to be that's going to force a winter on you. So you might as well just go into winter preservation mode right now so that you're prepared for any kind of turn of fortune in the future, because you are looking at this Wheel of Fortune, and this king sits right underneath it. So this could be a reversal of financial fortunes or something like that. So I hope that, Pisces, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes and your comments. I love hearing from you, and your subscribes, of course. That's always fun too. So I hope you have a wonderful week.